Some love stories don't end with a fight or betrayal. Some just fade like a whisper. Not because there's no love left, but because sometimes love isn't enough. This is the story of Liam and Sophie. Two souls who met too soon, loved too hard, and let go too late. It was the kind of rain that made you want to stay in bed forever. Portland was soaked, and so was Liam, his hoodie dripping as he walked into the tiny bookstore on 4th Street. That's when he saw her. Sophie. She was tucked between poetry shelves, her messy bun and oversized sweater making her look like a forgotten verse. He didn't believe in love at first sight. But something about her quiet presence made the noise in his mind go still. "Hey," he said awkwardly. She looked up and smiled, not the polite kind, but the kind that made your chest ache. "Hi," she replied, her eyes a shade of gray that mirrored the sky outside. That's how it began. Liam was a struggling songwriter. Sophie was an aspiring therapist. They were two broken artists, one mending others, the other hiding from himself. Their first date was Chinese takeout on her apartment floor, talking until 4 a.m. "I don't believe in forever," she once said, pulling her knees to her chest. "Me neither," Liam whispered, even though he wanted forever with her. They spent weekends wrapped in old blankets, reading Bukowski, watching black and white films, kissing between sentences. But the deeper they fell, the more their pasts clawed back. Sophie had scars she never spoke about, parents who divorced with courtroom cruelty, a brother she hadn't seen in 3 years, a panic disorder that sometimes made her afraid to leave the apartment. Liam tried to be her anchor, but some storms are too loud for silence to fix. He would come home to find her crying in the shower, gasping like the air itself had betrayed her. He held her every time, whispering that she was safe. But he couldn't fix the parts of her she didn't want him to see. And he had his demons too, an alcoholic father he still resented, a record deal that fell through, songs he couldn't finish. They loved each other deeply. But love, when it's wounded, can become heavy. The fight started over something small, forgotten plans and missed texts. But it escalated quickly. "You always shut down," Sophie screamed,
Dear team.
tears staining her cheeks. "Because I don't know how to help you anymore," Liam snapped back. Silence. That silence stretched for days. No calls. No messages. Just that unbearable ache. He showed up at her door a week later, with flowers and a trembling voice. "Let's try again," he whispered. She took the flowers. Let him in. But something had changed. They held hands like strangers. Slept beside each other but woke up further apart. One night, she sat at the edge of the bed and said, "I don't think love is enough anymore." And Liam, trying to swallow the lump in his throat, nodded. "Maybe you're right." They didn't fight when they ended. No yelling, no blame. They just stood at the train station, the one she always passed on her way to therapy classes. Her ticket to Chicago trembled in her hand. "Promise me you'll write," she said, forcing a smile. "I'll write you into every song," Liam replied, voice cracking. They hugged. Tight. Long final. And then she left. Just like that. 2 years passed. Liam released his first album, titled Gray Eyes. Critics loved it. Said it was haunting and raw. They didn't know every lyric bled Sophie's name. He never dated seriously again. Couldn't. Sophie finished school, became a trauma counselor. Helped broken people glue themselves back together. But every rainy day reminded her of him. One random afternoon in Portland, at the same bookstore on 4th Street, Liam walked in, searching for a new journal. And there she was. Sophie. Same messy bun. Same quiet beauty. Their eyes met. The world stopped. "Hey," she said softly. "Hi," he whispered. They didn't talk about what was. They didn't ask if the other had moved on. They just stood there, in the aisle where it all began, smiling through tears. Some people come into your life like lightning, fast, powerful, unforgettable. And when they leave, they don't really leave. They live in songs, in dreams, in the rain, in poetry. In the silence after a goodbye you never wanted to say. That was Liam and Sophie. A love story not lost. Just unfinished.